Hello and welcome to EV Review Ireland. My name is Reilly. Today we're looking at the Combo E Life, which is the passenger version of the Combo E that we know and love. Based on the Stellantis platform, so that means you're going to get this version in a Peugeot, you're going to get it in a Vauxhall or an Opel, you're going to get it in a Fiat, you're going to get it in a Citroen as well. I don't think Toyota do a van version. I know they do the commercial Pro A City, but anyway, this is also based on a combustion engine platform. So traditionally there would be an engine in here, whereas now it's electric motor and battery pack in underneath, so there is no frunking underneath. Starting at the front, moving down along the side, we'll take a look at the back, interior, and then take it out for a drive. There are chapters down underneath if you're interested in a specific area of the Combo E Life. And lastly, if you haven't already done so, please subscribe to the channel. We're on a push to 10,000 subscribers before the end of 2022, so all interactions and subscriptions really make a huge difference with the support of my channel. It's got from here to about here is the exact same as pretty much all of them, and then it starts to get a bit different. And this one is probably the one that looks the most traditional in the sense of it has a grille, whereas with the Citroen E Berlingo or the it's blocked off. Peugeot Rifter or Partner will look kind of like its actual combustion engine version, but you've got your chrome flashings either side, and then either your Opel badge or your Vauxhall badge. You've got your body colour bumpers, and you've got some active air cooling in underneath. The top part of this grille is cooled off, but the bottom pad is actually opened. Nice colours in this Combo E Life. You get copper, blue, lots of different greys, black and a white, I believe. And you've got this LED daylight running light. Again, unfortunately, we're in the Stellantis vans. We're going to see halogen bulbs here. You've got your fog lights. In Ireland, we only have the one trim, one spec, one size, which is H1, which is the standard height across all of them, but this is only coming in the L1 version at the moment, 5-seater. Some markets you will get the longer one, we will get that at some stage in Ireland, and you also have that 7-seater option as well, again coming to Ireland, but at the moment it's just one trim. Don't worry about it, get to choose the colour. That's pretty much it then on the outside. Down here you've got your 16-inch steel rims with hubcaps. On the Berlingo they are alloys with gloss black, so I have got that E Berlingo review on the channel, so I'll stick it on the screen and also in the description. You've got that little Stellantis indicator, your smallish wing mirrors. They're not retractable. I'd love to have these a bit bigger, but they are in black cladding on this van. MPV. Again, on the Citroen you've got roof rails, whereas on this one you don't. Now there is a difference between this is coming in around 33,000 euro after VAT. If I remember correctly, the Citroen was around 36, 37, so really good value. And probably that's the theme of this review, is it the best value electric vehicle in Ireland? If you're looking for large moving people, etc, etc, you're up against the likes of the MG ZS EV, you're up against the likes of the MG5. 40 kilowatt hour Leaf was as good as any. Both body coloured door handles. You've got this black cladding underneath. You have sliding doors either side, and a really smart feature as well is where it has the charging flap, which is where the traditional fuel filler cap would have been. AC you've got 7.4, and DC you've got up to 100 kilowatts. But if this flap is open, this door won't. So you have to push it in, close this, and then the door will pop open then again. So as I said, this is the L1, which is the length number 1. It does come in a longer version. That's what the Citroen brand are bringing into Ireland. They're only bringing in the longer version at the moment. So they've kind of done it slightly different to Opel or Vauxhall in the United Kingdom. I think that's everything on the front and the side. Let's spin the van around and have a look at the rear. Go on the inside and take it out for a spin. Coming down along the other side, you've got that second sliding door, and then you have that Stellantis taillights again, unfortunately in halogen. Not bad, but it'd be great to see if we saw it in LED. You have this little black spoiler that we got on the E Berlingo as well, and that high level brake light. Unlike the E Berlingo, it doesn't have that secondary hatch that you could open up. Window wiper, the only way that you're going to really know that it's an electric vehicle, number 1 by the sound, number 2 the fact that it hasn't got any tailpipes, and number 3 then that E is the only E that's actually across the whole van, and that's the same E that Opel and Vauxhall are using across the Mach E, the Corsa E, etc, etc. You've got your combo badging, and then this is a hatch, a barn door, and so inside here you have fairly decent space up to the windowsill. You have about 600 litres, and then if you knock the seats down, about 2,000 litres. Nice little feature here as well with regards to the parcel shelf. Can be put at multiple different levels, well, 2 different levels, but it's strong, so you can actually put stuff down on top of it if you wanted to separate your luggage, etc, etc. I've even seen one review where they put their dog up on top of it. Got this cut out here because of this brake light sensor, or sorry, the window wiper housing unit inside here. So space wise and utility wise, phenomenal. It's got a single halogen little light in the back here. I can't see 12 volt. You've got some pockets on the right hand side. You've got some straps, etc, but otherwise it's fairly utilitarian. You've got a 60-40 split there in the seats as well. Lastly, it's a pull down handle. Don't be expecting anything, any electronic assistance here. Let's have a look on the inside. What's it like on the inside of the Combo E Life? Pretty similar to the regular Combo E Cargo that I reviewed on the channel. So either this one's going out first or that one's going out first. But on the door you have your adjustable wing mirrors, and then you have your front electric windows, and instead of it being a cargo area lock, it's actually the child lock on the passenger version. You got a fairly decent door bin as well, and you got a speaker and a tweeter on it. Across the dash then you've got those coffee cup holders. They're not really big enough for large water bottles. You've got your document holder up on the top. You've got some storage in behind the infotainment screen, and then another cup holder on the back. Up on top you've got a nice parcel shelf, and in some markets you have the option of a panoramic sunroof with some extra storage as an option as well. Steering wheel is a great multifunction steering wheel. I really like this. I can't remember it being as good in the eBerlingo. You've got your cruise control on the right hand side with heated seat, and on the left hand side you've got your audio, your voice activation, your phone, etc. 3-spoke leather clad. Behind that then on the right hand side you've got your wipers, and on the left hand side you've got your lights, etc. and it has automatic headlights. The steering wheel itself is reach and rake, and the dials are analog, again comparing to the Citroen which was digital. You've got power, whether you're taking it or putting it back in, with regenerative braking on the left, and on the right hand side you've got your speed. You've got your how much energy you're taking for heating the cabin, dial analog, and then you have your power gauge or battery gauge, but again it's analog. The key is a traditional key. Over my right knee is lights. You have them automatic, front and rear poor weather lights or fog lights, and you've got the brightness and the level of brightness of instrument and the level of the lights itself. And then underneath that then you've got your timer for charging, and then your adaptive or your ESG on or off. Let's turn it on. And in between the 2 dials in the middle then you've got your infotainment little colour display. It's a couple of inches, and that switches then between your kilometers per hour. It shows the range. As much as the battery is an analog little needle, it shows your range in kilometers underneath that there, and you can switch it using this stalk here. So you can go lane assist, you can go power flow, you can go 2 different trips, and what your current usage is of energy, and then your speed as well. So good information. It has Android Auto and Apple CarPlay wired. It has radio, car navigation, apps, settings, and then the phone itself. Hazard lights and full central locking on the middle button. Analog manual air conditioning, and so it's good that you have a physical knob and you have your different air conditioning modes. And then the temperature, you've got this socket holder for a grip accessory. I don't know what it is. You've got a coin holder and an electronic handbrake. Your drive modes you have, it should be power, normal and eco. Again, Stellantis switchgear, you're seeing them across all of the brands, and Toyota then who have licensed it for their commercial vehicles. And you've got park, reverse, neutral, drive, and then 2-stage regenerative braking. It's not one pedal driving, but nice to have it. This unit on the commercial van was kind of eaten into the cabin, but the fact that this is 2 pilot seats with an armrest on the driver's side, you've got that center column. Again, in some markets I've seen a kind of a covered off central column here as well. You have a 12 volt down at the bottom, you have a glove box up on top, and again lots of different storage. And there's so much storage, about another 190 litres worth of storage, excuse me, across all of the pockets and etc, etc. That central hard-wearing dash console there, stuff would be floating around with that, so you probably need to tidy it up. In the head unit, you've got call assist, SOS, and your lighting system. All in all, it isn't as, it's very black plastic. Whereas the Berlingo puts a small bit of colour into it, not much, but it does liven it up. But again, the value, 33,000 euros after grants, it's a fairly compelling EV if you're looking for space, if you've got kids. And we'll pop into the back row now to have a look to show you the benefits of that and the features there. Sliding doors in either side, which is great for car parks and getting in and getting out, so the kids aren't messing with doors. 3 headrests. What I like about the Stellantis minivan, kind of taken from the commercial, is they have wide enough to have 3 Isofix in the back. So again, the Berlingo, the Rifter, they all have 3 bench seat in the back with 3 Isofix, which is great if people are looking for putting in those child seats. These seats aren't adjustable because they're locked into place, so space-wise, I'm just about touching. I probably can move that seat forward a small bit. I'm 187 centimeters, 6'2", so I could have a bit of space, but otherwise, leg room is grand. For a battery in the floor, what they've done is they've raised the floor so the transmission tunnel isn't as visible. Headroom is massive, absolutely like huge. So tall people, no problem. On the doors itself, again in the Berlingo, they're electric, whereas with the Opel, it is just a pop-out system, just to let a bit of air in. There's no in and out there. And then there is no air as in coming from the B-pillar, as in climate control. I can't find any power. And again, this is the issue I had with the Citroen. I'd like to see a bit more functionality back here. The Opel doesn't even have tables in the back of it. But again, we're looking at price. Some very narrow door pockets. You definitely wouldn't be fitting a bottle in there. So otherwise, do you know what? It's not bad, but I'd like to see a bit more functionality in the back of it. Let's take it out for a drive to see what it's like to drive. Child lock. Brilliant. What's it like driving the Combo E Life? Really good. As I always say, I love that seating position of a van and the visibility in a passenger version of vans, because there's so much glass. It's phenomenal visibility. So seating position is nice. It's nice that there's an armrest. It's not adjustable, so it is either down or up, and that's the choices that you get. And then got distracted there by a postman on a Reisen Muller e-bike. More coming to the channel soon. So the practicality and the space, etc., is great, but it is because of the weight. It's about 2.3 tons with that battery pack, and the battery pack is a 50 kilowatt hour battery pack, 48 kilowatt, around about usable. WLTP range, they're saying about 280. Real world, you're probably going to be getting near the 230, 220. But the way that they've set it up, because of that battery pack, they've made the suspension not as firm as what was in the traditional van, combustion engine van. Because the van version of this and the passenger version of this, I think both ride really well. They're a small bit, because they had to soften up the suspension because of that weight, there's a small bit of body roll, but otherwise not so bad. Seats aren't bad. They're not the best in the world, but they're not bad. And again, we have to remember the price that you're getting, 33,000 euros for a 5-seater with a massive boot, 3 Isofix, decent enough range, super fast charging, and then slow charging overnight. You're probably going to fill it up on a 7.4 wall box. You're going to do it in about 7 hours, just over 7 hours. And with that fast charging, if you can get a 100 kilowatt DC fast charger or above, this will do 10 to 80% in less than 30 minutes. So I think that's a really good sweet spot for Stellantis. Some of the things, like I'd love to see this with a bigger battery, the 75 kilowatt hour battery. Will it come potentially, as I'm told, across this, the Cargo and the Vivaro E? But otherwise, it's not bad. As a package, I like the Stellantis offering, be that Peugeot, be that Opel, be that Citroen. So visibility is good, driving is good. The steering wheels, I think, is a good size. It's not too big, it's not too small. Suspension is decent. Storage, as I said, is phenomenal. Visibility, yeah, and then it's pokey for a van. Power-wise, it's a 100 kilowatt motor, and that gives you 136 PS, but 130 brake horsepower. Torque is about 260 newton meters. Acceleration is not going to win any speed tests. It's 0 to 100 kilometers in over 11 seconds. I think they say 11.7. So power-wise, it's actually not bad, but you're not buying this for the speed. You're not bringing this to the drag strip. It is getting the kids around the place, getting the shopping done, bringing the dogs, whatever it may be. So as an overall package, I really like it. I think it's great value. That's what I like about it. And I think there's enough overpriced electric vehicles out there. And some people have an issue with the fact that it looks like a van. But you know what? You want the value, you want the practicality. This is what you got. Usage that Opel claim is between 17.5 watt hours per 100 kilometers up to 19.5, so that'll depend on how you're driving at the temperature, etc, etc. Warranty, battery warranty on the Opel is really nice. It is 8 years, 160,000 kilometers, whichever comes sooner, and they guarantee that you'll have a minimum of 70% of battery health after that length of time. 8 years and you'll have 70% battery health. You mightn't even own the car by that stage. So making sure that you understand that how these manufacturers are standing behind this battery tech is important as well. Hopefully you've enjoyed my review of the Combo E Life, one of the best value electric vehicles out there. Make sure you've subscribed to the channel. As I talked about, we're on a drive to 10,000 subscribers. Leave a comment and let me know what you think. Are you going for this? Did you go for something else? And remember, if you think an EV is for you, leave it to me and I'll review. Thank you very much for watching.